Good evening and welcome to Turner Classic Movies. I'm Dave Karger. For the first 6 Thursdays of the new year, we are showing a new episode of the new limited documentary series, The Power of Film. And each week, I am joined by the filmmakers behind this fascinating series, Laura Gabbert and Doug Prey. Great to see you both again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, great to be here.
Episode 4, which we're premiering tonight, is called Heroes and Villains. I'm almost surprised that it took you to episode 4 to have an episode called Heroes and Villains, because they're such staples of great film. What are some of the things that you and your former UCLA professor, Howard Suber, who's your host here, are exploring with the idea of heroes and villains?
One of the things we've already talked about in past episodes that he's talked a lot about is this idea of being trapped and how that makes for good stories. We want to see how people get out of their traps when we're watching a great movie. And one of the things he really breaks down in this episode is how villains are equally trapped, that they're just as interesting, oftentimes, if not more than the hero. Again, we tend to think of heroes as wearing the white hat and they're just these good people who go about and save the world. And he talks about how that's a trap. That might be a job they don't really necessarily want to do, but there they are. And I find that really fascinating.
Yeah, and then I think the other thing is that because both the hero and villain are usually trapped, one of them has to sacrifice, and that's the hero. And it's why Howard talks about people don't sign up to be heroes. It's why they're reluctant.
And why villains are so often amazing, because they're free to do anything. Villains are selfish. Like, look at the Joker.
This is all great stuff. So in presenting your new episode of the series, we're also showing 2 features that tie in with tonight's episode. Tonight we're showing Shane and Psycho. Obviously, when you talk about Hitchcock's Psycho, it's one of the best movie villains of all time. What was it like for you all to arrive at which parts of that film you were going to show in the documentary?
I think that Norman Bates is such a classic villain, kind of psychopath villain, right? And there are these deep psychological reasons having to do with his relationship with his mother that are slowly revealed in the film. And then I think the other thing too, the other reason we're fascinated by psychopath villains is that they can move between 2 worlds. They're intermediaries too. They sort of drop into like the normal world and then move into this sort of ulterior other world.
For sure. Let me ask you too about one specific hero in the movie world, who is Howard Suber, your host here and your former professor. How does he feel about the fact that this 6-part series is having its premiere here on TCM?
I think he's really thrilled. We felt like this is the perfect home for the series because it's showing to people who already have an affinity and an interest in classic films, but even contemporary films that are very powerful. And so we're just very excited to have this shared. What's interesting about this series is, unlike a lot of television, it's been a completely independent project made literally by Laura and myself and Howard himself. It was just, we just got together as if it was almost almost like a student film kind of attitude of let's just do this.
Yeah.
Because for many years he had been wanting to do a series. And we finally just realized, his lectures are really good. Let's just film his lectures. So he took 50 years of teaching and somehow broke it down into 6 days of filming, which we did with him on a soundstage. And then, of course, just intercut it with hundreds and hundreds of movie clips. And this is the result. It's a very unique, it's a very different kind of series.
And it was Doug's idea to shoot him on Interatron, so he's looking right at you. I think that we really wanted, and for me, it's exciting that we're getting to share Howard's knowledge to a wider audience. Because I think I felt so lucky as his student and his TA, and I still use all of his teachings in my filmmaking all the time. And to be able to share that with other people, I think is it's really special for him and for us. And we hope people will really enjoy it.
All right, well, it's a fascinating episode. I think people will love it. I'll see you 2 next week. But for now, here is episode 4 of your series, The Power of Film, called Heroes and Villains.
Next on TCM, Shane. Then The Power of Film, episode 4. And later, Psycho. A Boy's Best Friend is TCM tonight.